Let's try it.
Well, so much for that. Hey guys, Omar here. And first of all, I wanted to try the Fujifilm X-H2 outside, but it has been pouring for 2 straight days here in the New Jersey, New York area. And it's not my camera, so I don't want to take it outside and wet the whole thing. Although it's supposed to be wet, should we? Right now, the people at Fujifilm North America are like, no. First of all, let's thank them. They're the ones that send over the Fujifilm X-H2 so we could look at it and play with it a little bit. And so in this video, I thought we'd do a first look, just a tour of the camera, and also just, I took some photos here in the office. We can compare the files from the Fujifilm X-H2 with some of the older sensors, which was kind of fun to do. Now, I did get to hold the Fujifilm X-H2 at the X Summit when it was released, and I remember just picking it up and looking at it and being like, oh, this is pretty nice. It's like a mini GFX. Good, feels good in the hand, looks like a good working camera. And I didn't really make a video after that because I didn't get a chance to try it, go out and shoot it like some of the other media did at that time because I was booked for something else. So all I got was like maybe 10, 15 minutes with it at a counter, sort of looking at it. And I really liked the design. I liked that the D-pad was back. And I remember thinking that this is a great camera for someone that shoots weddings, that shoots video at weddings, that wants incredible detail. There's a photographer friend I have that her job is to shoot high resolution format photos of other people's art. And so she takes high res photos, and they use like a medium format camera that's like $35,000. But you could use this thing on a tripod using that sort of crazy pixel thingy mabub that makes a huge file. And you can, someone can have their painting in like 160 megapixels, which is insane. So
all right, let's take a quick tour of the Fujifilm X-H2 starting at the top. We have a right-handed controlled on-off switch, which is underneath an easy-to-press shutter button right here. To the right, we have a cute little movie record button, ISO button, white balance buttons, and the 3 buttons are a variety of sizes, so you can actually ID them by touch, which is pretty convenient. Here you have your camera loop strap, and these used to be separate on Fujifilm cameras, kind of like this on the Fujifilm X-T3. This little eyelet here was smelted on. And it's nice to have these larger ones built right into the body. You have an always-on display on the top, and when you turn on the camera, you can actually see all your information. On the side here, you have a little button which will light up your current settings if you're a creepo shooting in the dark. And next to that button, you actually have a little view mode button, and that allows you to cycle through how the LCD and EVF behave. You can either just have the viewfinder show up, you can have it automatically change. If you get close to the viewfinder, it'll shut off the LCD. You get it. Here on the left, we have the mode dial / custom settings dial, in which you can save a bunch of different camera shooting modes. Both, they can either be photo or video, and whatever you use the most, you can actually put them in these 7 custom functions, which is pretty neat. Okay, you have a little playback button, which allows you to view your photos. The screen is a touch screen, so you can zoom in, you can flip through your photos. And the trash button also doubles as the drive button, so no drive dial like the usual on the XT line of cameras. Your Q menu actually allows you to quickly change your settings without having to dive into the menu, and you can actually customize how many of these show up on the screen. You can have 8, 12. I'm crazy. I put all 16 up there. And you have many ways to navigate. You can use the joystick, you can actually use the D-pad button, and there's a touchscreen, so you can actually touch the Q menu and change your settings that way. Since it is a touchscreen, you can choose a focus area, or you can focus by touch, or you can even shoot a photo by touching. Now, by default, this joystick is actually a zoom button because in previous Fujifilm cameras, you were able to zoom into the photo and check your focus using the back wheel. You can always customize one of the function buttons like this one up here. On the right side, we have two card slots. One of them is a larger, more expensive CF Express card, and one is a tiny, cheap SD card, which I love. On the left side, we amazingly have a full HDMI as opposed to the Evo Micro HDMI, which we find in a lot of the older Fujifilm cameras. So that's like finding gold. We also have a headphone and mic jack, which open up with these nice little doors. We also have a USB-C connection, and you can actually charge your battery through this since there is no battery charger. On the front, we have a little flash sync port. You're going to lose the little cover for that. We also have a focus button instead of a focus switch, which we have found on most Fujifilm cameras, like this Fujifilm X70. And if Fujifilm, if you're watching this, we're waiting for an X80. Just a little reminder. Here it is on the Fujifilm X-T3, and although I prefer the little switch because I don't have to actually look at the screen to make the change between the focus modes, it's nice that you can customize this button to be whatever you want. So it's good that it's not just a focus mode switch. Currently, you have to push it and then use the D-pad to change your focus mode. Here's that delicious 40 megapixel sensor on the front. You also have an extra function button on the front. The battery is the same that we find on the Fujifilm X-T4, which is great. Now, the body design on the Fujifilm X-H2 and the X-H2S is more reminiscent of a typical mirrorless camera. The X-H2 screams professional working camera as opposed to, the more fun Fujifilm cameras I think of, that are like traditionally go out and shoot, street photography, travel photography. This is more of a serious, no-nonsense working camera. Now, on the weekends, if you want to play around, you could totally take off this working lens and put on a smaller fun lens, and you can actually make your X-H2 a little tinier. It's not going to be as small as this X-E2 right here, but if we take this little 27mm 2.8 right here, let's try it. Let's put it on here, guys. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, look at that right there. Why not? Why not? You can go pancake style. People are like, what is that?
So if it ever stops raining, I'm going to go out there and take some more photographs for you guys and let you know a final review of the Fujifilm X-H2. Give it a like, give it a sub. I'll see you guys. That was stupid. That was so. Give it a like, give it a... Bye. Please subscribe. It helps.